Is Luffy's mother really the former empress of Amazon Lily, Tritoma? In the recent chapter of the manga, there was yet again a discussion about Luffy's mother. And yes, that's because of the character Tritoma that was shown. Actually, these speculations first came out when SBS Volume 109 was released, since it was here that the character Tritoma was first introduced. Timeline-wise, we can say that Tritoma's age matches that of Monkey D. Dragon. Because if 44 years ago was the moment in the last chapter where we saw Tritoma, then we assume, based on her appearance, that she was only 12 years old back then. So, why 12 years old? Because this is the recorded age of the youngest member of the UJA pirates. During Boa Hancock's first voyage with the Kuja pirates, it was said that she was only 12 years old at that time. So how about Dragon? Well, Dragon was 11 years old at that time, meaning Tritoma was possibly just 1 year older than Dragon. So timeline-wise, it fits perfectly for them to become a couple and for Tritoma to be Luffy's mother. If we look at the characters linked to each Empress of Amazon Lily, Gloriosa was linked to Roger, Shocky was linked to Silver's Rayleigh, and Boa Hancock was linked to Luffy. If you notice, guys, there's a pattern forming. A pattern where legendary characters become the partners of the Empress of Amazon Lily. And since we also consider Dragon a legendary character, he also fits the pattern if, indeed, he's the partner of Tritoma, Luffy's mother. Now, I know the possible hole here is the statement on the One Piece wiki that women who leave Amazon Lily and return pregnant usually have daughters. This weakens the theory that Tritoma is Luffy's mother, since if she got pregnant, Luffy should have been a girl, not a boy. But upon checking that statement, I saw that the information actually came from something the narrator said in Chapter 515, where it was mentioned that, for some mysterious reason, only girls are born in Amazon Lily. So let's suppose Dragon did get Tritoma pregnant. Obviously, for Tritoma's child to be a boy, she must not give birth in Amazon Lily, because as stated, it's emphasized that only children born on this island are female. So what could be the possible reason for Tritoma to be forced not to return to Amazon Lily to give birth to a boy? I think it's because of Boa Hancock. As I mentioned earlier, Hancock was only 12 years old when she first joined the Kuja pirates. And what happened to her at that moment? She was kidnapped along with her two sisters by the Celestial Dragons. They ended up in Mary Jawas for 4 years and were later rescued by Fisher Tiger. So if Hancock was 12 at that time and the Empress she replaced was Tritoma, that only means Tritoma herself was the captain of the Kuja pirates when Hancock and her sisters disappeared. And this happened 19 years ago, the same as Luffy's age, because Luffy was also born 19 years ago. I think it's possible Tritoma couldn't return to Amazon Lily to give birth because, at the same time, Hancock and her sisters were kidnapped, and as the captain of the Kuja pirates, those children were her responsibility. So it's possible she gave birth while searching for Boa Hancock. And since she didn't give birth in Amazon Lily, it's possible that the child she bore was a boy, Monkey D. Luffy. And since there's a law in Amazon Lily that men are not allowed to live there, Tritoma probably gave her child to Dragon, and since she was technically the leader of Amazon Lily, Dragon later passed the child on to his father, Garp, because, according to Dragon, this child would just be a weakness for him. So this explains why we didn't see Luffy's mother at the beginning of One Piece. Based on SBS Volume 109, Oda confirmed that Tritoma is already dead. She reportedly died from lovesickness. We all know the reason for that illness. To cure an empress of lovesickness, it's necessary for her to leave Amazon Lily. This is the only way for the one with this illness not to die from it. We saw Gloriosa do this when she joined the Rocks Pirates. She left Amazon Lily. Later on, we learned Shocky did the same, since she's still alive now and is with her beloved Silver's Rayleigh. With that being said, since Dragon is a Revolutionary Army leader, it's unlikely for him to be with Tritoma. So this is likely the reason why she died from lovesickness. Add to that the possibility that no one would replace her as Empress. Anyway, if we go back to the Sabaody Archipelago arc, when Kuma fought the entire Straw Hat Pirates, he sent each member to places he had already been to. We saw that in his flashback. But the one place he obviously had never been to, since men are forbidden there, Amazon Lily, why did he send Luffy there? Out of all the places, why there? He hadn't even entered that place before. Was it because he knew Luffy's mother came from Amazon Lily? So this possibility isn't far-fetched, since in Kuma's flashback, we saw how open he was to Dragon when talking about Luffy, Dragon's son. Could it be that at some point while he was with Dragon, Kuma asked Dragon who his wife was, who Luffy's possible mother was? If Dragon answered and revealed that Luffy's mother was the Empress of Amazon Lily, it only makes sense that Kuma would still send Luffy to Amazon Lily, right? Another piece of evidence that Tritoma is really Luffy's mother is what Buggy mentioned in episode 512 of the anime. When Buggy learned about Luffy's 3D2Y message, he was shocked to find out Rayleigh was involved in Luffy's plan, and Buggy's reaction was to suddenly analyze that it's possible Silver's Rayleigh is Luffy's uncle. So why did Buggy mention this? He knew Rayleigh wasn't also related to the monkey family since he was with him in the Roger Pirates. Could it be that Shaki is Tritoma's sister? Because if Shaki is indeed Tritoma's sister and her husband is Rayleigh, then it only makes sense that Rayleigh would be Luffy's uncle, right? And the last reason why it's possible Tritoma is Luffy's mother is what I mentioned in our recent video, that chapter 1156 is related to Luffy, since it has the number 56 associated with Gomu, which is the first name of Luffy's devil fruit, Gomu Gomu no Emi. And for Oda to reveal Luffy's mother in this special chapter number, it's perfectly timed to shock the fans. Anyway, there's our theory about Luffy's mother. As usual, if you have thoughts or ideas about this topic, don't hesitate to comment them below so we can discuss them. So that's all. Peace.